It is really a lesson learned. Do not invoke the name of Meghan Markle. Oh dear, it looks like we're going to have to take a trip back to Nigeria. The First Lady of Nigeria has been markled. The First Lady of Nigeria essentially made a speech saying that ain't nobody got time for Meghan Markle.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It is really a lesson learned. Do not invoke the name of Meghan Markle. Your whole cause will fail. So right now we have two dueling schools of thought as to the First Lady of Nigeria's speech.
School of thought number one, the First Lady was directly talking to Meghan Markle and about Meghan Markle. UK News says Meghan Markle receives criticism from Nigeria's First Lady for her attire. We don't accept nakedness, said the First Lady. Markle was a victim of such criticism after her visit to the African country.
The second school of thought is that perhaps the First Lady of Nigeria is only using Meghan Markle as an example of all of the people who come to Nigeria to seek their heritage. We all know that Meghan Markle's heritage is false. The 43% Nigerian is a big farce.
In any case,
there is this sort of genealogy tourism that Nigeria is taking part of, where people from Black America are coming over to Nigeria to say, you know what, can I find out who I am? The people in America feel like their history has been erased and that they have very little ties to their real culture and their real history. And so the First Lady of Nigeria is essentially just saying, look, you girls, you all are your best people. You have more than them. They are trying to be like you. Look, the Meghan Markles of the world are coming over to Nigeria trying to be like you. They're trying to find their history. You have your history here. Do not emulate them. They are even trying to copy you.
The message here is we have to salvage our children. You know, we see the way they dress. They keep forgetting that Nigeria, we are beautiful. The moment you can see what they showcase on the stage, I said we are fashionable. We see what is going on. You know, we are not having a Met Gala. And everyone, their nakedness is just everywhere. And the men are well clothed. So we have to do something. Tell them the way it is. We don't accept nakedness in our culture. That is not beautiful. It's not beautiful at all. And they're all beautiful girls. But they should be confident to know they are. They don't want to be like, even they are mimicking and trying to emulate film stars from America. They don't know where they come from. Why did Meghan come here looking for Africa? Why did Meghan come here looking for Africa? That is something we have to take home with. We know who we are, and don't lose who you are. God bless you.
Was she just talking about Meghan Markle's naked wear? I want to talk about it, if you don't mind. Meghan Markle wore some very unforgiving materials, and I think at one point she said, I've come to Nigeria and I've realized that, like, you know, everyone's wearing really bright colors, and so I should too.
Meghan Markle wears traditional skirt gifted to her in Nigeria after admitting she needs to wear more color.
So that's what I've learned here. I didn't do much research onto, like, why I'm here and stuff like that.
Igbo, Yoruba, do we know? So I mean, I'm gonna start to dig deeper into all this.
But I have noticed that people are wearing really bright colors, which is funny because she said that she was unable to wear bright colors when she was in the royal family and they wanted her to wear beige and this and that. But now all of a sudden it's an epiphany for her that people do wear bright colors. Girl, bye. However, the materials that she's using, they're very flimsy and her nurples have been on display the entire time. In fact, somebody gave her a shawl and said at least cover one nurple. We've got 50% of the problem covered. So she had to end up between a rock and a hard place, if you will. The thing about Meghan Markle is that she does not take any advice. She will not hear what anybody has to say. People will take all kinds of camera angles of you. And it's funny because she was not very accommodating when Princess Catherine told her, I don't want my young daughter to not wear tights as your flower girl. Remember when it was that Meghan made Catherine cry? It was because she did not want her daughter in that procession of that wedding, which, by the way, so many people hated that wedding so much. Catherine was like, I don't want my daughter exposed. End of.
And it's just been recently revealed how truly toxic the environment was at Meghan and Harry's wedding. Arthur Edwards says, I was there. I hated the day. It was a miserable day. Edwards told The Sun, I can tell you now it was the worst royal engagement I ever did. And of course, he's worked with the royal family for many years. He says, the worst royal wedding I ever did because Harry was determined to keep the newspapers away from it as much as possible. Everything was done on long lenses.
Oh, I was there. Hated the day. The day was a miserable day. I mean, it was a...
Really? I thought...
Well, was it? Well, I can tell you now, it was the worst royal engagement I ever did, a royal wedding I ever did.
All of a sudden then, Meghan Markle has children and nobody can see their bloody faces. Nobody can see any which part of them, but she wanted Catherine Charlotte to be out there exposed with her leg up in the air and whatever might happen to her. It's crazy. Oh, I'm totally getting off track. So she came out though with her nurples out because she does not know how to do protocol. That's the point I was trying to get to, is that Meghan Markle
Just does not care about any country's protocol. And yet Nigeria still found it necessary to crown her princess.
By the way, jokes about that though. We have been laughing. We have been laughing non-stop.
One of my lovely commenters, Amina, says, Leilani, I think it needs to be made clear, only the Nigerian fans dubbed her their new princess, but the actual title she received is Adamasi, a title of respect, meaning daughter of an aristocrat of the ancient Orochukwu kingdom. She is still no princess anywhere except in her own head.
Meghan got a title that said that either her father's a policeman or a government official or some high-ranking person. Then she killed that story, as she says, about the media.
You say the narrative with Kate, it didn't happen. So specifically, did you make Kate cry?
No.
No.
So where did that come from?
She killed that story and presented a different story with her team that said that she was actually the princess. In fact, it was not a princess title in the first place. So ain't nobody had time for that either. It was like you were looking through an x-ray when you looked at Meghan Markle. And sometimes she couldn't even hold herself properly because she had to make sure that nothing fell out. You know, even the underwear, everything was showing with her. Yes, of course, it can be interpreted that the First Lady of Nigeria was trying to say, just stick to your own culture before you end up like Meghan Markle can't even wear her clothes because they're too slutty or whatever, to excuse my French. We all saw it with our own eyes and we know what she is trying to say. At the end of the day, Meghan Markle cannot be tamed. She's born to be wild. So there really is no hope for Meghan in this world. I've said it before, unless she takes some very deeply intensive poise and etiquette classes. Girl, she is done. She's tired and she's through. I am quickly approaching 100k subscribers as I hide my nurples, and I really just want to do a live for you. In fact, it was my son's idea. He said, you know, you should do a live where you interact with your audience for your 100k subscribers, and I thought, that's amazing. Where did you come up with that idea? And he said, well, MrBeast did it. So if MrBeast did it when he got to 100k subscribers, I'm gonna do it too. So when we get to 99k, we will do a live and I will talk to you and interact with you and answer your questions. I do answer your questions, of course, in my comments, so please be sure to put down the comments anything you have to say about this. But it will be more fun to answer you in real time. I'm really looking forward to that. So if you don't mind pressing the bell notification, subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, thank you so much. I love you so much. My cheeks are hurting from laughing about these nurples. Bye.